Hello and welcome back to World History Explored. Today, we're diving deep into the rich tapestry of Croatia's history. From its early beginnings to its vibrant present, Croatia's journey is nothing short of fascinating. So, make sure to watch this episode in its entirety, as we unravel the stories, events, and people that have shaped this beautiful nation. So, let's start with the etymology of the name Croatia. This name has roots in the medieval Latin term, Croatia, which in turn stems from the native name, Hrvat. The origin and meaning of Hrvat have been a point of scholarly debate. Some suggest that the Croats may have migrated from a region in ancient Persia called Haravati. This name, they argue, traveled with the people and gradually evolved. Another theory leans on Slavic origins, indicating that Hrvat might be related to words meaning cherished or occupiers of land. There are also suggestions of connections to the Gothic term, Horvat, or ancient Celtic tribes. Though the exact beginnings of the name remain elusive, today's Croatia and its people stand proud with their identity as Croats, Hrvati, and their homeland, Croatia, Hrvatska. The prehistoric period. In the lands that form present-day Croatia, the echoes of ancient hominids can be traced back to the prehistoric era. Northern Croatia boasts the discovery of Neanderthal fossils from the Middle Paleolithic age, with Krapina being the most renowned excavation site. As time progressed, traces of Neolithic and Chalcolithic civilizations emerged, especially along the river valleys of the north. Key cultures like Starcevo, Vucedol, and Baden have left their indelible marks here. Moreover, the Iron Age introduced elements from the Illyrian Hallstatt and the Celtic La Tène cultures. Venturing into the proto-historic era, material evidence from the Gaka Valley provides glimpses into Iapodic life and culture. By 500 BC, ancient authors like Hecataeus of Miletus documented the Eastern Adriatic's inhabitants as Histrians, Liburnians, and Illyrians. Around this period, Greek settlers began to form communities on the islands of Issa, now Vis, and Faros, present-day Hvar. The Roman expansion. Before Rome's extensive conquests, the northern section of the eastern Adriatic coast was largely governed by the Illyrian kingdom, lasting from the 4th century BC until the Illyrian Wars in the 220s BC. By 168 BC, Rome established its dominance south of the Neretva River, gradually expanding its control northwards until they formally established the province of Illyricum around 3227 BC. This region would later be known as the Roman province of Illyricum. Between 6 and 9 AD, local tribes, including the Dalmatae from whom the region got its name, rebelled against Roman rule in the Great Illyrian Revolt. However, this rebellion was suppressed, leading to the splitting of Illyricum into two provinces by 10 AD, Pannonia and Dalmatia. Dalmatia, which spanned the Dinaric Alps and most of the eastern Adriatic coast, was the birthplace of Roman Emperor Diocletian. He later built an impressive palace near Salona, which would evolve into the city of Split. While some historians, like Mommsen and Bevant, believe that Dalmatia was fully Romanized by the 4th century, others like Stipčević argue that Roman influence was primarily in urban centers. Guldescu, the Croatian historian, assumes that Vlachs or Morlachs, Latin-speaking pastoral communities, existed in the Balkan mountains long before Roman times. With the fall of the Western Roman Empire in 476 AD, the region witnessed significant political shifts. Emperor Julius Nepos briefly governed from Diocletian's palace before the Ostrogoths took control. By 535 AD, Emperor Justinian I incorporated the territory into the Byzantine Empire, later forming the theme of Dalmatia. The Roman era met its conclusion with the invasion of Avars and Croats during the 6th and 7th centuries, resulting in the desertion of many Roman towns. Survivors relocated to strategic coastal, island, and mountainous areas. Let's mention that Ragusa was founded by survivors of Epidaurus. The historical work, De Administrando Imperio, suggests Croats migrated to present-day Croatia from southern Poland and western Ukraine in the early 7th century. This claim, however, is debated among historians. Current archaeological evidence leans towards a migration and settlement during the late 6th to early 7th centuries. Duchy of Croatia, 800 to 925. In the mid-7th century, the territory we now recognize as Croatia was divided between two primary states, the Duchy of Croatia and the Principality of Lower Pannonia. By the 9th century, the Duchy of Croatia emerged as a significant entity under the leadership of Borna, as documented in Einhard's Chronicles from 818. These accounts provide the earliest evidence of Croatian realms, which at the time were subordinate to Francia. Another notable ruler from this era, Ludevit Posavsky of Lower Pannonia, resisted the Franks from 819 to 823. By the late 9th century, the Church of Holy Salvation was built during Duke Bronimir's time, marking a significant period in Croatia's history. The dominance of the Franks waned by the reign of Mislav, and subsequent rulers like Tiarpamir, founder of the Tiarpamirovic dynasty, showed resilience against foreign powers such as Byzantium, Venice, and Bulgaria. Domagoj, another duke who succeeded Tiarpamir, was particularly combative, earning him the title, the worst Croatian prince, from the Venetians. Furthermore, the Christianization of the Croats is a topic of debate among historians. While some sources, like Byzantine Emperor Constantine VII, suggest it began in the 7th century, the consensus generally leans towards the 9th century. The papacy's recognition of the Croatian statehood came in 879 under Duke Branimir, with Pope John VIII acknowledging Dalmatian Croatia as a recognized state. Kingdom of Croatia, 925-1102. The title of the first Croatian king is traditionally attributed to Tomislav in the early 10th century, with references from church councils of Split and letters from Pope John X supporting this claim. Following rulers of significance include Mihajlo Kresimir II, known for his conquest of Bosnia and rejuvenation of the Croatian kingdom, Stjepan Jislav, a Byzantine ally against the Bulgarian Emperor Samuil, and Stjepan, who both restored the Croatian kingdom and established a diocese in Nin. Two queens, Domislava and Helen of Zadar, also played notable roles in the Croatian monarchy of this period. The apex of the medieval Croatian kingdom came during the 11th century under the reigns of Petar Kresimir IV and Demetrius Zvonimir. Petar Kresimir IV capitalized on the weakening Byzantine grip to consolidate control over Dalmatian cities, promoting urban development and church establishments. Historians like Tiarpamir Makin even contend that Croatia reached its territorial zenith during Kresimir's reign. Zvonimir, who ruled after Kresimir, maintained a steady rule, holding strong ties with the papacy. His reign, however, ended without a male heir, leading to a short-lived rule by Stjepan II. With the end of Stjepan II's reign, the Tiarpamirovic dynasty concluded. The subsequent power vacuum attracted attention from neighboring Hungary. Based on marital ties to Zvonimir, Hungarian King Ladislaus I claimed the Croatian throne. However, his claim faced resistance, leading to a conflict between Croatian supporters of Petar Snašić and Hungarian loyalists. After the Battle of Gvozd Mountain, Hungary's King Kaloman I emerged victorious, resulting in the personal union of Croatia and Hungary in 1102. Though united under a single monarch, Croatia and Hungary maintained distinct kingdoms, institutions, and systems. Personal union with Hungary, 1102 to 1527, and the Republic of Venice. Under the Arpad dynasty, Croatian history experienced pivotal shifts. The Law Code of Vinodol from 1288, inscribed in the Glagolitic script, stands as the earliest Croatian legal documentation, establishing relations between the inhabitants of Vinodol and the ruling counts of KRK. As Croatia transitioned into a personal union with Hungary, the region witnessed the introduction of a feudal system. However, subsequent monarchs aimed to mitigate the impact of this shift by bestowing specific privileges upon towns. A significant episode in this era was the diversion of the Fourth Crusade in 1202. Instead of heading to the Holy Land, the Crusaders, in collaboration with the Venetians, targeted Zadar. Despite Zadar's Christian affiliations, the city was violently captured and looted, an act that resulted in Pope Innocent III excommunicating the entire Crusader army. King Emmerich of Hungary-Croatia offered limited assistance, merely appealing to the Pope for Zadar's restoration. Also, the Anjou dynasty brought further complexities to Croatia's landscape. Lord Paul Subik's rise to power in the early 14th century was so prominent that he operated as an almost independent entity, even inviting Charles Robert of Anjou to claim the throne of Hungary-Croatia in 1300. This invitation led to a protracted civil war, with Charles's faction ultimately prevailing. The reign of King Louis the Great in the mid-14th century marked a zenith in medieval Croatian history. His reign is particularly noted for his successful campaigns against Venice, culminating in the Treaty of Zadar in 1358, which saw Venice relinquish claims to Dalmatian cities. However, the period following Louis's death was tumultuous, with Croatia engulfed in the anti-court struggles, characterized by dynastic infighting and shifting allegiances. By the latter half of the 15th century, the looming Ottoman threat transformed Croatia's socio-political landscape. Following Bosnia's fall to the Ottomans in 1463, Croatian territories became the front line in the battle against Ottoman expansion. The continuous Ottoman incursions, coupled with famines and diseases, led to significant depopulation and a shift in Croatia's geopolitical center. The Battle of Krbava Field in 1493 was a testament to the ongoing strife, ending in a Croatian defeat. As the century closed, Croatia's alignment with Hungary saw it embroiled in succession wars and territorial disputes, amplifying its vulnerabilities against external threats. By the way, thank you for watching this video till this moment, and please go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you again. Now let's get back to the history of Croatia. Croatia in the Habsburg monarchy, 1527 to 1918. The late 18th and 19th centuries were transformative periods for Croatia, influenced by significant geopolitical shifts and vibrant nationalistic fervor. As the Habsburgs expanded their realm during the Napoleonic Wars, they incorporated parts of Croatia, specifically Dalmatia, which had been under Venetian dominion. Yet, as Napoleon's forces advanced in Europe, the French influence began to permeate Croatia, resulting in the formation of the Illyrian provinces in 1809. This move introduced Croatian territories to the revolutionary ideals of France. Throughout the 19th century, the spirit of nationalism began to awaken among the Croats. The Illyrian movement emerged as a beacon of this sentiment, aspiring to standardize the Croatian language using the Shtokavian dialect, which was shared between Croats and Serbs. Despite its pan-Slavic undertones, the movement largely remained a Croatian endeavor. Their efforts bore fruit when the Croatian Sabor, the legislative body of Croatia, adopted Croatian as the official language in 1847. The political landscape of Europe in 1848 was ablaze with revolutionary ideas, and Croatia was no exception. With the rise of Hungarian nationalism, Croats found themselves in an increasingly precarious position, leading them to pledge allegiance to the Habsburgs. The Croats, under their leadership, yearned for a unified Croatia with autonomy and independence but within the Austrian Empire's folds. This aspiration manifested itself most notably when Ban Jelačić, a Croatian nobleman and military leader, declared war against Hungary. The political structure of the region underwent another transformation with the Austro-Hungarian Compromise of 1867, which paved the way for the Croatian-Hungarian settlement in 1868. While this settlement provided Croatia with a degree of autonomy, the lingering influence of Hungary caused discontent and sparked anti-Hungarian sentiments among Croatians. As the turn of the century approached, Croatian nationalism reached new heights. Publications promoting greater Serbian ideologies inflamed Croatian-Serbian relations, leading to significant anti-Serb disturbances in the Croatian capital, Zagreb. Furthermore, the onset of World War I dramatically altered Croatia's trajectory. In the wake of the conflict, Croatia chose to disassociate from the crumbling Austro-Hungarian Empire. Instead, it aligned itself with the provisional state of Slovenes, Croats, and Serbs. This entity, however, was not without its set of challenges, particularly territorial ambitions from neighboring Italy. These geopolitical pressures ultimately propelled Croatia towards unification with the Kingdom of Serbia, setting the stage for the inception of the Kingdom of Yugoslavia. Croatia in the Kingdom of Yugoslavia, 1918-1941. The end of World War I and the decline of great empires led to the formation of the Kingdom of the Serbs, Croats, and Slovenes in 1918. This new entity merged the South Slavic territories into one state, with Croatia joining under the People's Council of Slovenes, Croats, and Serbs' endorsement. Despite initial hopes of unity, the state was an intricate mosaic of cultures, religions, and identities, often causing friction and discontent among its inhabitants. External pressures soon arose, particularly from Italy, which eyed territories along the Adriatic coast. The Treaty of Rapallo in 1920 tried to address these territorial disputes over Istria and Dalmatia, but the challenges inside the state were far from resolved. Croatia, with its distinct historical and political identity, often found itself at odds with the centralizing tendencies of the Belgrade government. The introduction of the 1921 constitution further centralized authority and power, much to the dismay of Croatian political factions, particularly the influential Croatian Peasant Party. This political unrest reached a boiling point in 1928 with the assassination of several Croatian representatives, including Stjepan Radić, in the National Assembly. The event traumatized the Croatian public and deepened mistrust towards the central government. To stabilize the situation, King Alexander initiated a royal dictatorship in 1929, centralizing powers even further and suppressing regional identities. The country's name was changed to the Kingdom of Yugoslavia, symbolizing unity, but in practice, fostering more resentment. Throughout the 1930s, the political landscape in Europe was changing rapidly. King Alexander's assassination in 1934 was a testament to the unstable environment. The following years saw the Kingdom of Yugoslavia drifting towards the Axis powers due to Milan Stojanovic's leadership. As tensions mounted, both internationally and domestically, efforts were made to appease the Croatian leadership. The Cvetkovic-Masic Agreement of 1939 recognized Croatian autonomy to some extent by establishing the Banovina of Croatia. It was a significant concession, but given the brewing storm of World War II and growing nationalist sentiments, it was insufficient to hold the fragile Yugoslav Union together. This period was crucial as it set the stage for the intense conflicts and changes that would engulf the region during and after World War II. World War II in the independent state of Croatia, 1941 to 1991. During World War II, Croatia underwent significant upheavals. The nation was forcibly transformed into the independent state of Croatia, NDH, an Axis puppet state spearheaded by the radical right Ustaše regime. This regime, taking inspiration from other fascist governments of the time, implemented stringent racial laws and established numerous concentration camps. These camps saw the persecution of minority groups such as Serbs, Romas, and Jews, as well as Croatian and Bosnian Muslim individuals who opposed the Ustaše's oppressive rule. Simultaneously, the Chetniks, Serbian nationalist groups, retaliated with their own set of atrocities against the Croat populace. However, as the war progressed, the pan-Yugoslav partisan resistance movement, led by the Croatian-born communist Josip Broz Tito, began gaining traction. This movement stood as a counterweight to both the Ustaše and the Chetniks. The partisans, advocating for a unified Yugoslav state that championed socialist values, eventually managed to liberate vast swaths of territory. Their successes were bolstered in part by assistance from the Soviet Red Army. After the war, Croatia emerged as a central socialist republic within Tito's newly established Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia. This era saw the nation undergo rapid industrialization and urbanization, shifting away from its pre-war agrarian economy. The country's Adriatic coast blossomed as a prominent tourist destination, bolstering the national economy. Under the socialist regime, Croatia experienced relative economic stability and prosperity, with citizens enjoying certain social security benefits such as free healthcare, housing, and education. Yet, beneath this facade of stability, the Yugoslav government maintained a tight grip on political freedoms, suppressing dissent, centralizing power, and monitoring through a robust state security apparatus. Tito's death in 1980 marked the beginning of increased tensions and challenges. Economic hardships, rising nationalism, and political disputes began to strain the Yugoslav Federation. Croatia, in the midst of these socio-political shifts, began to chart its own course towards independence. By the late 1980s, sentiments favoring sovereignty grew stronger, catalyzed further by concerns over Slobodan Milosevic's rising power in Serbia and his apparent intentions to dominate the Yugoslav Federation. By the early 1990s, amidst a climate of growing ethnic and national tensions, Croatia formally declared its independence from Yugoslavia. Republic of Croatia, 1991 present. As the Iron Curtain began to crumble, Croatia embarked on a transformative journey. The 1990s, a pivotal decade for the nation, marked the shift from communism to a vibrant multi-party system. The Croatian Democratic Union, HDZ, under the leadership of Franjo Tudman rose to prominence in the inaugural free multi-party elections in 1990. Tudman's leadership was characterized by a strong sense of Croatian nationalism which, while invoking pride among many Croats, sowed seeds of division with the Serbian minority in Croatia. This divide was evident when the Serb assembly in SRB proclaimed the sovereignty and autonomy of the Serb people in Croatia. Tensions reached a boiling point during the Log Revolution, when Serbian majority areas sought to establish autonomy, effectively partitioning Croatia. These strains were further exacerbated when, in 1991, Croatia's referendum for independence witnessed an overwhelming yes vote. Independence was subsequently declared on the 25th of June, in tandem with Slovenia. The Croatian War of Independence, ensuing from these events, was marked by brutal confrontations and significant human rights violations. The siege of Vukovar stands out as a poignant reminder of the war's devastation, where the city faced a relentless attack from Yugoslav and Serbian forces. Despite intermittent ceasefires, genuine peace was elusive until 1995 when Croatia launched Operation Storm. This military campaign successfully reclaimed territories held by Serbian forces, leading to a large-scale exodus of Serbs from Croatia. In the aftermath of the war, President Tudjman's tenure was clouded by Croatia's international isolation and controversial domestic decisions, including the problematic privatizations of state assets. His passing in 1999 heralded a new political era. The HDZ's dominance waned, making way for a center-left coalition, which undertook numerous reforms, aligning Croatia closer to European standards and commencing EU accession talks. The subsequent decade saw Croatia oscillate between its European aspirations and domestic tribulations. Ivo Sanader's HDZ, which came back into power, was instrumental in propelling EU negotiations. Yet, Sanader's term was tainted by allegations of corruption, culminating in his abrupt resignation and subsequent incarceration. Despite the political rollercoaster, Croatia's EU dream remained undeterred. After surmounting various challenges, including Slovenia's blockade and contentious extraditions to the International Criminal Tribunal, Croatia inked its EU accession treaty in 2011 and formally became a member in 2013. The political landscape continued to evolve, with Croatia electing its first female president, Kolinda Grabar-Kitarovic, in 2015, signaling its progressive outlook. The dawn of the 2020s presented Croatia with a blend of challenges and triumphs. The nation grappled with the aftermath of devastating earthquakes in Zagreb and Banovina and navigated the tumultuous waters of the global COVID-19 pandemic. Yet, Croatia showcased its resilience, marking significant milestones, such as the inauguration of the Peljasak Bridge in 2022, a testament to its infrastructural aspirations. Moreover, 2023 heralded Croatia's entry into both the Eurozone and the Schengen area, underscoring its commitment to European integration. In essence, Croatia's journey through the multi-party era has been a tapestry of challenges, achievements, and relentless determination, painting a portrait of a nation constantly evolving and seeking its rightful place on the global stage. As we draw this video to a close, we've journeyed through Croatia's remarkable evolution from its early days in the Habsburg monarchy to its esteemed position in the European Union today. From wars and political shifts to socio-economic challenges, Croatia's resilience and spirit shine brightly. This rich tapestry of history not only educates but inspires. If you found this journey enlightening, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more insightful content. Your support helps us continue to bring these stories to life. Thank you for being with us, and until next time.